inside today. It's quite windy out, and last month it was a bit hard to hear what I was saying at times, so we decided to film this one inside. And we had a really exciting weekend mid-month when Richard Rudd did a one-day Into the Mystic presentation in Boulder, Colorado on a Sunday. It was actually Mother's Day in North America. On Monday, the very next day, Oracle Girl did a review of her journey through April immersion. So it was a really intense and wonderful weekend for us to enjoy. And what became very clear through both presentations is how important our connection is to the Earth itself, to Mother Earth, and the ley lines and vortexes running through the planet. And when Oracle Girl was in the UK doing her April immersion, she spent a lot of time working with the ancient sites, the ley lines, vortexes, stone circles, dolmens, and purifying the energies to upgrade the vortexes and ley lines into this fifth dimensional frequency. And Richard also talked about experiences that he'd had working with the landscape in the UK. So it was a really wonderful validation really of what we are doing right now, because we're involved actually in doing some planting of artifacts in the landscape, and we've chosen to move through the different elements, through the earth, through the water, and through the air, as we go through this expanding portal of connecting to Mother Earth, which takes us into the summer solstice, which is going to happen early in the morning here on the west coast of Canada on June 21st. And I just want to remind you that Rory Duff, the wonderful dowser from England, has realized through his dowsing technique that every year the ley lines and vortexes all come into harmonic resonance on the eve of the equinoxes and solstices. And he's also found that the frequencies have been rising and they've stayed in that harmonic resonance for longer periods of time each year. So I would really encourage you, either on the 20th or the 21st on the solstice, to get out into nature and spend some real quality time with Mother Earth, really tuning in to that resonance. And what's becoming clear now is all of these energies and vortexes and ley lines are all interconnected. And so it doesn't matter where you are on the planet, you can connect into any sacred site that you wish to connect with, and just come into this resonant frequency. It is the 15th gene key, which is our deepest and most profound connection to Mother Earth through the Schumann resonance, the natural heartbeat of Mother Earth. So just try and go into a sacred reciprocity with Mother Earth herself, offer her a gift to the land, and tune in and listen deeply to her, to the trees, to the land, to the water, whatever you feel most connected to. And then pay attention to what happens subsequently, because there are always gifts that come back to us through the birds, the animals, the land itself, little synchronicities that will show us that we are truly connected. We're just coming back a little bit to earlier in the month on June the 3rd at 8:41 in the evening Pacific time. We have the full moon in Sagittarius with the sun in Gemini. This is the third full moon in a trinity, a sequence, going back to the full moon that took place around Easter. And this is the Christ consciousness full moon in Aries and Libra. And this is where the Christ returns to offer us his gifts of forgiveness and unconditional love. And then the following full moon is the Wesak full moon, the Scorpio-Taurus axis, and that is the full moon of the Buddha's return, and he brings the blessing for the people of wisdom and enlightenment. And the Christ and the Buddha are working together in those two frequencies, overseen by the great cosmic mother. And so this full moon is the third in the sequence, and this is called the Goodwill full moon, because this is where you and I, the people, go out into the world and spread the word and spread the energies. It's the buzzing bees of Gemini, the pollination of those energies that were brought in over the last 2 months. So again, if you can, on Saturday, do some form of ceremony. Try to be involved with other people and having really upbeat, positive discussion. Gemini is all about curiosity and communication and connection. And Sagittarius is all about the truth. And what we're doing here is seeking that truth. The other factor that's worth knowing about is that on the full moon, which is going to be at 13 degrees of Sagittarius, it's going to be conjunct what's called the Great Attractor, which is at 14 degrees of Sagittarius. And the Great Attractor is this huge black hole that fits outside our solar system. And what it does on that occasion, as it comes into alignment with the full moon, it creates this very powerful channel of cosmic energy. On one level, it is to clear out all that we're done with and that we no longer want to take into our future self. At the same time, providing the opportunity for us to download accurate information from source in whatever way it comes in, whatever clair it is, whether it's clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience, just a fundamental knowing of the truth from source. What is happening as these powerful energies come in is it is pushing out all of the unresolved stuff from each of us. So you may come across people acting out in weird and crazy ways because it is their inner stuff being released, and you may have the same happen within you. So it's really important to recognize that we're going through a very powerful transformational moment at this time, and to stay calm and centered within yourself, fully grounded, connecting to your own core stability, and as Oracle Girl would say, to your own dragon self within, that very grounded, solid certainty in your own personal sovereignty, and not taking anything personally if other people are projecting their unresolved stuff onto you. It's just a process that we are all going through to set ourselves free so that we can enter the new earth in a beautiful, powerful way. And my final comment is Richard Rudd in the Into the Mystic talked about the new mystic culture that we are creating. And he was talking about the culture of the lines in our gene key profiles. And according to what line you're on, you have a particular requirement to fulfill your destiny through this new mystic culture. So I'll just mention what they are. The line 1 culture is the individual, and that is about your self-empowerment. The line 2 is when you pair up with someone else and you nourish each other by bouncing ideas back and forth. The third line is a small group between 3 and 15 people, and they strengthen the new culture coming in. The fourth line are the heart-centered people, more than 15 people, creating a network of support for the new culture. The fifth line people are the natural leaders of the new culture, and they bring about the new freedoms that we will experience in the new culture. And the sixth line is the system itself. And Richard had this beautiful word for the system itself, which is the system will cherish you. And I can't think of a better word when you think about the line 6, the system itself, cherishing every single person within that community. It just gives us a beautiful vision of how we can move into this new energy in this new culture. So I think things are ramping up and they're getting very exciting, and we just need to hold to our core center to navigate our way through this in the best way that we possibly can. So I wish you well with that as we move through this month, getting really deeply connected with Gaia, Mother Earth herself. Many blessings.